Leadership isn't about fancy titles or being the loudest person in the room. It's about providing purpose, motivation, and direction to those around you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into leadership motivation. Throughout my military journey and my business journey, I've discovered that most leaders fundamentally misunderstand something about leadership. They misunderstand motivation. They think that something you do to people rather than something that you foster and develop within them. There's two types of motivation, external and internal. Let me put it this way. External motivation, think of the threats, the bonuses, the constant pushing and prodding. It's like a sugar rush. It'll work briefly, create a spike in their energy, but then crashes, leaving them feeling low again. What truly works is a motivation type that is constant and long-term. You could think of it as like a protein-rich motivation, the kind that will sustain your energy, build strength, and last. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build that type of motivation in your teams. In the military, I learned quickly that soldiers don't risk their lives for a paycheck. They do it for something bigger, for the person next to them, for the mission, for what they believe in. Simon Sinek got it right when he taught us to start with why. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This applies not just to customers, but to your team as well. Let me share a quick personal story. When I first moved to Charlie Battery, we transformed one of the lowest performing fire direction centers into the top fire direction center and the top platoon operations center in the battalion. This transformation wasn't because I was threatening consequences or promising rewards. It was because every soldier was able to understand why their role mattered and how it contributed to our collective success. As a leader, your job isn't to just assign tasks. That's what managers do. Leaders give those tasks a context and a purpose. They connect the dots between daily work and meaningful impact. Ask yourself, does your team know why they're doing what they're doing? Not just what and how, but the deeper purpose behind it all. If they don't, that's your first opportunity to build some sustainable motivation. Explain why and get that buy-in. Next, and perhaps my favorite, is the motivation that's associated with ownership. True motivation, in my opinion, comes from ownership. When people feel they own a problem, a project, or a result, they bring a different level of energy to it. This is what I call disciplined initiative, giving your team the freedom to take whatever actions are necessary within their boundaries to advance to the objective or to advance and accomplish your goal. Too many leaders micromanage their teams into mediocrity. They dictate how things should be done instead of focusing on what needs to be accomplished. When my fire direction center needed to perform manual calculations, I didn't stand over their shoulders or give step-by-step instructions after we trained on it, of course. I shared the vision, I explained why it mattered, and I let them own the process and own the outcomes. Well, at their level, right? As the fire direction officer, I own the overall outcome and product. But how we built to that point was giving them ownership of their roles and really trusting them to build proficiency within them. And obviously, we have some checks and balances there and there's safety, but ensuring that they understood why their role was important and what needed to be done in that role, training them on it, and then letting them be the best and taking ownership of that. That was our key to success. So, like I mentioned, the result wasn't just that we met the standard with those things, it was that we blew the standard away. We were completing calculations in half of the standard time, and we were able to accomplish something that our other units in the battalion weren't able to accomplish. The same principle transferred over to my business practices as well. The more I gave ownership to my subordinate leaders, the more they were able to take responsibility and action within their roles and the systems that they were responsible for. And we saw the efficiency increase, the speed that we were able to solve problems increased, and then the customer satisfaction on the opposite side increased. So here's my question to you. Where can you step back and give your team more ownership? What problems can you present rather than solutions you can dictate? That ownership fuels sustainable motivation. Confident leaders create confident teams. Nobody wants to be led by someone who doesn't know what they're doing or where they're going. Leadership confidence is contagious, and so is doubt. Your team will not ever be more confident than you are. Confidence also matters when it comes to motivation. This doesn't mean faking confidence or putting on a show. People can smell insincerity from miles away. Instead, confidence comes from preparation, from making decisions with available information, and from having the strength to admit when you're wrong. In my business experience and entrepreneurship, there have been countless times and moments of uncertainty. But every time I approach a challenge with this mindset, the mindset that I learned in the Army, that I'm going to adapt and I'm going to overcome. That confidence, not necessarily in having all the right answers, but in our ability to find them together, spreads throughout the organization and the team. It's created a culture for us where problems become opportunities and obstacles become stepping stones. Your confidence as a leader isn't about never showing weakness. It's about showing that challenges don't define you. Your response to them does. When your team sees that in you, they begin to embody it themselves. Perhaps the most powerful motivator that I've discovered is personal growth. People want to become better versions of themselves. I know that I do. That's why I do what I do. They want progress. They want to look back in 6 months or in a year and look at how far they've come and how they've developed. As leaders, as entrepreneurs, it's our job to create environments where growth is not just possible, but growth is inevitable. This means challenging people beyond their comfort zones while providing them the support that they need to succeed. When someone can point to new skills that they've developed, or challenges that they've overcome, or impact they've created under your leadership, that's when motivation becomes self-sustaining. I've watched team members transform from hesitant beginners to confident experts. They pride themselves in mastering something new, and that's worth more than any bonus check can provide. So ask yourself, what growth opportunities am I providing? How am I challenging my team to stretch beyond what they think they're capable of? Because growth isn't just a motivator. Growth is also your legacy as a leader. Today, I challenge you to think differently about motivation. Stop trying to motivate your team with temporary incentives and start building the conditions where motivation naturally thrives. These conditions look like connecting daily to a meaningful purpose, giving ownership through disciplined initiative, leading with an authentic confidence, and creating opportunities for visible growth. Remember, the best form of welfare for your team is not comfort. It's the opportunity to achieve something significant together. As the leader, you set the tone. Your energy, your focus, and your commitment to the mission become the standard for everyone else. When you get this right, you won't need to push people forward. You'll simply need to point the way, and they'll bring themselves to the journey. Hey, I forgot to mention at the start of this video, I'm donating $1 to Charity Water for every subscriber I gain on YouTube in 2025. If you find this information useful, please make sure you like and subscribe. I'm here to teach entrepreneurs and business leaders about effective leadership and team development. If you found value in this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more leadership insights. Drop a comment below sharing your biggest takeaway or your leadership challenge that you're facing. And if you want to dive deeper, make sure you check out the link in the description for my book, How the Hell Are You Doing This?, where I share my story, the principles that I use to grow my businesses and lead effective teams. Until next time, lead with purpose, and I'll see you in the next video.